Today, we're going to talk about how to cure the silent killer hepatitis for only $1,000 per pill. Now, the catch is you have to take this for roughly about 3 months. And roughly, there's a little more than 90 days in 3 months. So that comes out to $90,000. Now, before I get into the cure, let's talk about what hepatitis is. It's inflammation of the liver. We're primarily going to be discussing viral hepatitis, okay? But there's also other causes of hepatitis, like an autoimmune, which can be triggered by various things. It could be triggered by a virus, vaccine, some drug, or other things. But there's a lot of people who have hepatitis. It's like 325 million people worldwide have hepatitis. And the problem is there's not a lot of clues or symptoms to give it away. That's why they call it a silent killer, because you don't know what's going on. So what's happening is the virus ghosts your immune system, which means it hides within our immune system below the radar so it can't be detected. And at the same time, it hijacks our own immune system. So our immune system's antiviral weaponry cannot be activated. So it paralyzes our immune system so we can't fight back, while it creates a lot of destruction. And over time, that viral destruction then turns into inflammation and possibly into fibrosis. So the cure, it's a drug called Sovaldi. Now, they do use other medications with this medication, but Sovaldi has a pretty high success rate for hepatitis type C. And the definition for successfully treated apparently means curing. And so the cure rate or successful treatment is roughly between 80 to 86%. Now, the problem with this drug, number one, is the cost. It's $1,000 per pill, and a person could spend anywhere between $80,000 to $160,000 for a round of treatment. Now, the question I have is, why is it so darn expensive? Well, there applies the R&D. It takes a lot of money to develop this drug. But anyway, what I did is I dug into some real interesting patents on using herbal remedies for hepatitis that I'd like to share with you. There's three main patents. The first one involved wormwood extract, coax root, and red sage root. And they claim to have a pretty high cure rate, 95% for hepatitis type A and 90% for hepatitis type B. Apparently, this blend of herbs was a secret prescription, which is handed down in a certain family from generation to generation. Well, when you apply for a patent, you have to reveal the combination of herbs. In the next patent for hepatitis, they used nutgrass and an herb or a weed called Nargamatha. Nargamatha is the world's worst weed, and it's an extremely hardy herb that is just invasive. And it's just so interesting about these weeds, like milk thistle is a weed, nettle root is a weed, and a lot of these weeds have natural chemicals that give huge health benefits. And apparently, Nargamatha has some great properties to deal with hepatitis. Now, the next patent involves milk thistle, which is one of my favorite herbs for the liver, especially in protecting the liver against all sorts of things, including toxicity from chemotherapy, toxicity from alcohol, toxicity from Tylenol. Milk thistle helps to decrease this transition from inflammation to fibrosis. But this blend of herbs as a remedy for hepatitis includes milk thistle, artichoke, licorice, turmeric, ginseng, stinging nettle, and ginger. And the recommendation is to take it 3 times a day, about 1.5 hours before you eat. Now, I cannot talk about inflammation without mentioning vitamin D, but a vitamin D deficiency is associated with the pathogenesis, okay, of hepatitis B and C viruses. Now, what does that mean, pathogenesis? It means the creation of these diseases. So apparently, when you're low in vitamin D, which a lot of people are, it makes you more susceptible to getting hepatitis, which is very important to know because having enough vitamin D actually can protect you against getting this virus, as well as if you have the virus, it can help minimize the damage. Because think about what's happening. You have this virus that has hijacked your immune system. And vitamin D is the most important vitamin to help regulate your immune system. Vitamin D is involved with almost every part of your immune system, including the innate and acquired part of your immune system. And if you have hepatitis, whether it's coming from a virus or it's just autoimmune, chances are you're going to be low in vitamin D. Vitamin D also decreases the replication of viruses. So make mental note of that and make sure you get enough vitamin D. There's another remedy that I would take if I had hepatitis, and it would be NAC. That is a precursor for glutathione. It can greatly help the oxidation and inflammation and the collateral damage that occurs when you have hepatitis. So this video really is about giving you more information to be able to dig in and do research if you personally have hepatitis.